What's up, podcast listeners? Andy and Drew here. Welcome to episode 51 of the What's Up Casselberry podcast.
Episode 51. We're almost at the magical number 52, which signifies we've been in business for a year and we're still here and we're getting stronger. I'm excited about our guests today. And Drew, I don't know if we should tell people or not, but we got some pretty significant special guests coming up over the next month as well.
Ooh, yes, we do. Some heavy hitters. We implore you, invite people to like our podcast, listen to every episode. We've got some great folks in our community. Of course, if this is your first time, welcome to the program. Andy and I are local pastors. We're friends. We're Casselberry residents talking about all things Casselberry and Seminole County. We love to have conversations for the good of our community. Andy, how are you, my friend? The kids are back in school. How are they adjusting? I haven't gotten a kids update yet regarding your two.
They're doing well. Obviously, they were delighted to go back to school right after the Christmas holiday. You know, as I remember, that was a hard drag to pull yourself out of bed after all the fun of Christmas for a new term and maybe a little bit colder weather, but they're doing well. They have both said that in their classes, class sizes are up a little bit, which means that people are moving away from the virtual school and towards a face-to-face, which probably tells us that people are feeling a little bit more comfortable mingling again and sending their kids back into classrooms. And that's good and probably another step towards normality. Although as people are making that step forward, I know we're all watching over our shoulder at the increasing COVID numbers as well. So I think for many parents and many students, it's a difficult balancing act to try and nudge people back to normality, but at the same time looking over our shoulder to make sure that we're safe and we're wise and we're masked and keeping this virus away as much as we can. So yeah, interesting times.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and Andy, that made me think of another thing. Several episodes back, we talked about some of the cleaning measures that the county and individual schools within the county were going to. Things like having face shields in front of each desk, wiping down areas, being very stringent on who and who cannot come on campus. Have you heard from, you have a student in middle school, student in high school, is every effort being made in regards to keeping kids healthy and just the campus clean overall? I haven't heard of a great number of students that have gotten sick.
Yeah, I mean, I think the school has done a very, very good job. And I want to talk about the school, I'm talking about the system of doing their best to make sure that as much as possible, facilities are sanitized, distancing is followed, masks are worn, those kind of things. But the reality is we're dealing with kids. And it's one thing for my daughter in high school and her friends to be mature enough to know how to keep those parameters up. But when you look at an elementary school, I mean, how do you tell a 5 or 6 year old not to get too close to, you know, a classmate? And so I understand that there has been several cases at elementary schools around the county where they've just had to cancel classes, send everyone home, say, hey, let's get together in 2 weeks again, just because it's so much harder. So I think the school are doing the best job they possibly could. And honestly, probably better than is a reasonable expectation of them. But again, in doing so, they're facing an uphill battle because they're dealing with social, relational children.
No, certainly. And that's a good place as any, you know, to look to our most popular, hardest hitting segment on the program. Andy, we've talked about kids. Let's talk about dads. It's time for the dad joke of the episode.
I told you I'm not sure we're ready to make this a thing yet. But one thing we can tell our listeners is that we will take them on an emotional journey to the deep, intense feelings of COVID in the classroom. To your puns. It's quite a journey.
It is.
Go on then. Tell us your joke.
We're about
the
best content on the airwaves. Here we go. Dad joke of the episode. Folks, singing in the shower is all fun and games until you get shampoo in your mouth. then it becomes a soap opera.
I will play Robin's role and not respond. Listeners, if you hear some dead air, it's not because of technical problems. It's just because I don't know how to respond to Drew's joke. But actually, Drew, we're a podcast that's kind of breaking news on the front of everything. Sometimes we could even be accused of sharing rumors. Did you hear the rumor about the butter?
No.
Well, I'm not going to spread it, so you won't hear it from me.
Oh, there you have it. The dad jokes of the week with Angie and Drew, the hottest new segment on our program for however long it lasts. Well, Andy, you had mentioned schools earlier, and I do think, oh, wow, what a celebration that needs to be ensued. Well-deserved recognition for our Casselberry in the News segment. We are so excited to announce Andy, you received an email recently from Seminole County that the graduation numbers and rate came out for this past year, the 2019-2020 year. And in Seminole County, 94.5% of seniors graduated, which is the highest recorded rate ever in our county. Some other stats, we are number 1 in Central Florida in terms of counties graduation rate, number 4 in the whole state of Florida, and we increased by 1.7%, and we're 2.8% higher than the state average. So well done, Seminole County. Tell us your thoughts, Andy.
Yeah, I think that's an incredible accomplishment. You know, whenever you talk to someone in Seminole County, one of the things that people will brag on is our school system. You know, people move here just because of numbers like that and because we're doing such a great job. But I think what's really incredible about these record-breaking numbers of graduation success is that it's been done against such a difficult backdrop. When people were graduating and when they were taking their exams and their tests, we were in lockdown. And teachers were scrambling to figure out technology, and students were wrestling and trying to find out the right habits, and study material wasn't available. It was a tough backdrop against which our county has achieved great results. So I want to say a huge congratulations to everybody who has helped contribute to this 94.5% record-breaking graduation rate. Well done to the students. You've done something great in a tough year. Teachers, you continue to remind us why you are society's heroes, and all our administrators as well. You are often the unsung heroes, and we thank you as well. But often, Drew, when I hear something great happening, I want to find out who's behind that, because success often trickles down from a good leader. And I'm super excited that that great leader in our county, Dr. Walt Griffin, is going to be our guest next week on the podcast as well. So maybe we can ask him some more questions about what has made our school system such a success.
Absolutely. Yes. And all kudos, all praise. Also want to recognize and highlight the parents of those graduating seniors. They obviously had a unique role in this time of COVID this last year, and especially the spring semester. I know many students had to work from home. And so parents, well done, well deserved. Please celebrate accordingly. I think often of different kids that I've either ministered to at our church or just gotten to know over the years in different ways. And one fact is true, that no matter what, education is something that no one can take away. And so the accomplishment to have that diploma will literally be life-changing for those individuals who came through. Obviously, many will go on to other degrees or other diplomas, but the importance of finishing something that you've started, let's not underestimate that. Well done, seniors, and well done to our county for all the efforts made there, especially in the last trying year. All right, speaking of those who have done some great things, we often like to celebrate and recognize those who are serving, who are leading, who are inspiring inspiring our great city. And we've told you on the podcast before that we recognize an individual from our community of Casselberry each month, recognizing them with the prestigious award of the Community Member of the Month, sponsored by the What's Up Casselberry podcast. We scoured the landscape looking for those who are doing some great things, and we found someone. Drum roll, please, Andy, as I announce the January Community Member of the Month is John Jones of John Edward Jones Law Office. Mr. Jones has been a lawyer in this community for nearly 50 years. That's right, 50 years, longer than you or I have been alive. He is a huge servant. He is so generous. He's a longtime member of the Chamber of Commerce. Many, many things in our community have happened due to Mr. Jones's leadership and involvement, his desire to give back. And I look forward to meeting him personally and sharing this award with him.
Did you know that John also, back in the day, I think in the 80s, was a personal lawyer to President Reagan as well?
Wow. No, I didn't know
He's a military veteran.
He started a couple of nonprofit organizations caring for children and other things locally. Yeah. Amazing man.
Very, very impressive man. And we're honored to be able to call John Jones the Community Member of the Month for January 2021.
Today's sponsor is We Insure. We Insure cares for your insurance needs, whether it be your home, auto, or business. Josh Hinkle is our local We Insure agent, and he and his wife Kelly serve Casselberry, Winter Springs, and the surrounding area. We Insure serves as an active member of the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce and are committed to excellent customer service. I'll tell you, listener, my wife Becky and I have personally benefited from the work of Josh and the We Insure team. Contact Josh Hinkle with We Insure for all of your insurance needs at 321-422-3255. Thanks, We Insure. All right. Welcome back, podcast listeners. We are so excited for our conversation with our special guests. That's right. We have guests, two of them, a husband and wife team who do business in Casselberry. We have agency owner of We Insure, Josh Hinkle, and his lovely wife, Kelly Hinkle. Welcome to the program, Josh and Kelly.
Thank you.
Excited to be with you guys.
First of all, Drew, congratulations. That was a solid first take. Listener, not really. This is like our 10th go around at Drew getting his intros right. But we do it. We make ourselves look silly so we can make our guests look great. So we're thrilled that you're here today.
It's going to take a lot more silliness from you guys.
Oh, don't worry. We got an abundance of that. All right. We normally start our conversations, Josh and Kelly, with some icebreakers, just to put us all at ease and get to the silliness out the way, which we seem to have already done. But Josh, in your business as an insurance carrier, you care about people's safety. What is the thing in your life that you are most fanatical about in regards to making sure nothing dangerous occurs to you and your family? Just a light icebreaker to start with.
Yeah, I made up that question, Josh. So there you go.
That's a heavy one. Yes, being an insurance guy, I'm pretty risk adverse. So always keeping my eye out for avoiding risk as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think with having two little girls, always wanting to be in situations where they're safe and protected and taken care of. And thankfully, Kelly helps me do that as well. Now we have a little dog. So that's just number one. It's a female dog, so I'm totally outnumbered here in our household. So we got to keep our head on a swivel for sure.
I was going to make that joke that you got a big guard dog, which not really, listeners. We'll have to post a picture of the Hinkle's new dog. It's a cute little fluffy dog. But yes, as you mentioned, Josh, you are outnumbered by the ladies in your house. So tell us, since you have two little girls and you all are Disney fanatics, Kelly, both of you answer. What is your favorite Disney princess in the Hinkle house?
So I love Belle because number one, she's a Disney princess. She always looks really pretty in everything that she wears, sings beautifully, but she also loves knowledge and loves to read. And I just always appreciated that about Belle, because I too love to read. I don't read a ton, but I love to read.
I love that. What about you, Josh?
Kelly is definitely the Disney fanatic of the household. So I can't say for sure if I've got a favorite. Maybe Merida from what's the
Brave?
From Brave. Yeah.
That is great. I love the way you kind of tried to man answer that. Yeah. That was a noble effort. That was good. Drew, what about you? Favorite Disney princess?
Oh, man.
I don't think I've ever asked you this before.
Yeah, you have not. Listeners, you're getting an exclusive. Probably Moana. I know in our extended family, my nephews and nieces are all about Moana. And I love the water and love boats. And so a lot of the story is based on her riding the waves. So yeah, Moana. What about you, Andy?
I'm going to do what Josh said. And I think they're all very lovely, respectable women who we admire greatly. And
yes.
So anyway, moving quickly on, we've heard a little bit about your family, but Kelly, tell us a little bit of background on who you guys are.
Actually, I grew up in Seminole County, right off of Redbug Lake Road. So I've been living here for a long time, minus my years at Florida State University. Go Noles. So grew up here, and then we moved back, and I worked at Willow Creek Church for about 9 years. That's how I got to know Drew. And within that time, we had our oldest daughter, Ashlyn, who just turned 10. And then when I actually left Willow Creek, I was working downtown at the Coalition for the Homeless for a few years. And during that time, we had our second daughter, Ansley, who is now 2.5. And so that's and now I am officially a stay-at-home mom. So I get to be here and just really help Josh with his business and watch it grow.
Tell us a little bit about y'all's involvement with the chamber and how you served in Casselberry locally.
When Josh was starting his business in 2015, we knew that we needed to get the word out there. And so at that time, we still are good friends with Bill and Colleen Hufford, and they encouraged us to join the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce. And since Casselberry was where I had grown up for so many years and lived, it just seemed almost natural to be a part of the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce. I honestly got involved just to meet people and network. But what ended up coming out of it is me growing as a leader by getting involved, being asked to be on the board of directors, which then led me to be the president of the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce in 2017. And just through that time, just developing wonderful relationships with business owners, with people within the community, being able to really just flourish within the city of Casselberry. And it's been one of the greatest things that I feel like we've ever done, not just for our business, but just for us personally. We have just loved the people that we've gotten to know and spend time with. And a lot of the relationships, their relationships I probably wouldn't have had outside of joining the chamber, but they're relationships that I'm so grateful and thankful for. And so it's just been a wonderful experience. I don't think we're ever going to leave the chamber because it's just been, we just love it so much. So yeah, that's kind of what got us in. And now I'm just a member of the chamber. I've kind of stepped down from the leadership role for now, just to kind of take a break, but still actively involved.
Kelly, for a number of years, you were very involved in leading the food and wine event as well through the Chamber of Commerce. And that really has become a staple in our community, bringing together lots of restaurants, lots of people. Tell us a little bit about that event and your experiences there.
Okay, so the Casselberry Food and Wine Festival is usually held the beginning of November. And like you said, it's an event where we just really try to bring in local restaurants, caterers within the area, breweries, really wanting to showcase what the city of Casselberry and surrounding cities have to offer when it comes to food and beverages. We also reach out to local businesses and ask them to be a part of our silent auction, which the money proceeds from the silent auction always go back into the city through scholarships for graduating seniors. The Casselberry Art House was a recipient of proceeds from the silent auction. But then also we bring in local artists of the event by painting tables and chairs and things like that that are sold as well at the silent auction. And it's just a great way for the community to come together and see what we have to offer.
I love that. And a quick testimony on that. Kelly and my wife, Becky, and Andy, your wife, Tracy, have all worked in different regards in that event. And one of the main motivating factors from the event is not just to have a great experience and encourage our community to come together, but also a large percentage of those proceeds go back into the community, providing scholarships and other things. In fact, Andy and I, earlier on in this episode, highlighted just some of the marks of the graduation rates here in Seminole County, which is really exciting. So Kelly and We Insure, thank you for your participation in the chamber. Josh, let's transition and talk just a little bit about what you do and maybe help folks get a little more educated on the side of insurance. Could you share a little bit about your journey, your previous insurance experience, and then moving to We Insure and what We Insure is about?
Yeah. So, I started years ago working in banking. Actually made a transition to insurance. Was with State Farm for several years, a couple agents in the area that I had the opportunity to work with and really learn insurance and the business. And I think it's always been our dream as a couple for a long time to have our own business and to be part of our community in that way. So I was always looking to expand into my own business opportunity and was looking to go independent as an insurance agent, basically meaning there's two differences. There's captive and there's independent. Captive, kind of like a State Farm. That's who you work for. That's what you represent as a State Farm brand and carrier. Independent, we actually represent over 100 carriers. So just wanted to have an opportunity where I could provide our clients with options as we would help them out. And so I got connected with We Insure. We Insure is actually a franchise, and there's agents now throughout the country. Actually, just this past year started expanding nationwide. So there's actually about, I think at this point, about 90 We Insure agents throughout Florida. So we thankfully got this area to represent We Insure, to have our own business. And our agency is focused primarily on personal lines. So things like home insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, that's kind of our niche and specialty.
Josh, I love that. That's a big group that you can offer, over 100 different carriers in all lines of insurance. That's really very interesting. I'm interested as well in the phrase independent and captive. Captive isn't particularly a positive connotation, is it? I'm captive, I'm trapped, but I love the idea that you can independently help a lot of people and serve them in a way that kind of personalizes them and fits them. One of the things about insurance is a lot of risk management and things like that. But often in the midst of all the numbers and the contracts and things like that, there are some heartwarming stories that come out. Have you experienced any of those stories as an insurer where you're like, oh, I'm so glad that person had insurance for that experience?
Yeah, I wish I had a specific story off the top of my head, but I've definitely seen just situations where whether it's an auto insurance accident, and especially if there's injuries involved, a lot of times folks just don't realize how quickly those lower limit coverages they might have, or maybe they don't even know they have, how quickly, especially these days, those can get eaten up by medical bills. Seen when we've had clients who have had sufficient coverage to pay out those medical expenses, just to know that they had the peace of mind. Because that's what insurance is. It's a peace of mind. That's what you're purchasing when you purchase insurance. And to know that they had that peace of mind, that they were going to have those medical bills covered, they were going to have to worry about coming out of pocket on things and expenses. So we've seen that on both sides with auto insurance and home insurance. So that's always, at the end of the day, I'm always most excited to help educate people on insurance and coverage and why you should have specific things to meet your needs, to, make sure that when that situation and that time comes, that something happens, it could be, 6 months from now, it could be 10 years from now, but to make sure that you and your family are adequately covered and protected.
Yeah, Josh, that's so good, and that the peace of mind, that is really an important word, especially in the days that we're in. Josh, and Kelly, one of the reasons that we do this podcast is to highlight what's going on in our community, and we're so thankful you all are serving as our current sponsors for the podcast, and we love our partnership with you, and we love highlighting local businesses in Casselberry and the surrounding area. What is you enjoy the most in regards to why here, why Winter Springs, why Casselberry, why do you enjoy doing business here locally?
I mean, I would say it's our home, so obviously, we want to know that our own neighbors are protected and taken care of. And, we have the ability to write insurance and business all over the state of Florida and even to some degrees beyond the state of Florida. But I think there's just an added element when you are helping your own neighbors and people that you communicate with and see at church or, out in town. It's sort of, I guess you could say, kind of provides an added layer of accountability for wanting to do business the right way, but just also to know people, who you're helping to serve and take care of.
That's great. That's a great comment about accountability too. It's hard not to give someone the best if you know you're going to run into them tomorrow in Publix or something like that. Josh, a couple more questions, then time has got the better of us. I have a teenage daughter who is now driving. And so my car insurance has gone up. And so I'm looking at all the different insurance that we have in our life. And I'm wondering what's the best way to save money on any kind of insurance. If I came to you and said, Josh, how do I save money on my insurance? Where would you point me to look, first of all?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think especially these days, everyone's wanting to save money for sure in any way they can. And that's one of the favorite parts of my job is helping people save money. I think when you're talking about different lines of insurance, we always tell our clients and folks that, let us do a comprehensive review with you. Let us take a look at what you've got, because there's a good chance that we might be able to not only save you money on your premiums, but help you get better coverage so that, again, if that situation were to arise, we're saving you money in the long run because you're going to be adequately protected and covered. But yeah, so with, obviously teenage drivers, anyone who has teenage drivers knows that your auto insurance rates take a good jump. So number one thing I always tell our clients is whatever you can do to make sure your teenage driver is driving safely, which all parents obviously want anyways, but you don't want to see what it looks like when your teenage driver has tickets or claims. Because if you think it's high now, it can get higher, trust me. So yeah, looking at just, overall though, looking at a comprehensive review of what you currently have, the way that we do it is we would review those policies and we would shop the options with all those carriers that we mentioned. I think there's a lot of ways that we can save money on home insurance, helping folks understand the wind mitigation inspections and things of that nature with their roofs. Even in some ways getting lower deductibles. So again, if that claim were to occur, you actually have a lower out-of-pocket expense coming your way. So it's just a lot of different things that we can do as insurance agents, if we have that opportunity to really do a comprehensive review with people.
I love that. I will make sure my daughter listens to this episode and heeds your warning about the rising costs should anything happen. But Josh, I love what you're saying, that by sitting down with you, by having you look over people's comprehensive plans, that you could actually help them get more coverage for less money. And in this world and in this economy, I know that's very attractive for a lot of people. So my final question is, for those who are interested in your service, how do they connect with you and how do they find out more?
So we actually have a general website, weinsuregroup.com, that folks can go to. They can find us specifically because our office is located in Winter Springs. It's weinsurewintersprings.com. But again, obviously, we insure folks all over the place. And then we have a office phone number, direct line 321-422-3255. Press option 2 when you call in. That goes straight to my desk.
Josh and Kelly, thank you so much for being our guests today. We really appreciate that. But more than that, we appreciate the commitment that you have made to our community, how you serve through the chamber, through your church, through other ways, but also how you help people in our community prepare for the worst and overcome some of the worst things that life has to offer. Thank you both so much. Drew, don't you just love Josh and Kelly? They're the kind of people who are living in a kind of way that really makes a difference in a community. Their warmth, their humor, their integrity, their care. Great, great people. As we prepare to wrap up our episode, I believe that you have some inspiration for us.
I do have some inspiration. It's inspiration that derives itself from our favorite show, The Office, and the character Michael Scott said this. I guess it's been that I've worked. I totally screwed that quote up.
That was a Michael Scott way to tell a quote.
Oh, man, that's good. That was a Freudian slip for sure. All right, let's try this again. So from Michael Scott, I guess I've been working so hard, I forgot what it's like to be hardly working. I guess I've been working so hard, I forgot what it's like to be hardly working. And Andy, this really does speak to kind of the season of life I'm at, both in my career, at home, other things. There are many, many responsibilities. And obviously the call is to do what we were created to do, to work hard, to be on mission, to do our very best. We always take this time of the program to encourage people to continue to move forward, building on wherever you are, take the next step. But at the same time, would you enjoy the life around you? Would you not take for granted the fact that life sometimes, as we've been joking on this podcast, life can be so serious? And would you take a moment? Would you laugh? Would you reflect? Would you even just take a deep breath and take a break? Remember, we are called to work hard, but don't forget what it's like to sometimes hardly work at all. Thank you, Michael Scott.
Thank you, Michael Scott. There's words we never thought that would enter into the philosophical, inspirational realm, but you have it right there. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Drew. Friends, we hope you have enjoyed this episode of the What's Up Casselberry podcast, a casual conversation about our community. We want to give huge kudos and thanks to producer Robin, who does a great job of making us sound better than we really are. For more information about who we are, what we do, why we do it, please check out our website, Facebook page, Instagram feed, or podcast feed, all with the name What's Up Casselberry. Like and subscribe to our podcast, and please rate and review us. Until next time, friends, have a great week.